Greetings, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Today is the day that Mars rules, and Mars is currently in Sagittarius. Actually, let me check and make sure. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, thank y'all. All right, yes, Mars is in Sagittarius at the 20th degree. Okay, you all. Whew. This, what people are calling ascension, what people are calling going from the 3D to the 5D, healing, transformation is a profound, deep journey. And I am on it, and it is interesting. And today is a Mars day, and Mars is the planet that governs your will. It is your willpower, your will center. It is the force of action within you. It is the masculine. Mars energy is everything that we see in the external realm. It is what we actually see and experience and feel. And then it is the movement. It is our attraction. It is Mars governs, is the original ruler of Scorpio, and so it's sexuality and how we bring things out of the invisible and into the seen. That's how we all got here. We all got here because our parents had sex, and 9 or 10 months later, you were the evidence of that experience. That is Mars. It's the ability to take something out of the seen and out of the unseen and into the seen. Now, this is a very significant power, if you can imagine, right? To take something out of the unseen and into the seen. It requires focus, it requires consistency, it requires devotion, it requires boundaries, and how we see that playing out in our daily lives is, in order to become a human being, there are things that had to occur for you to get here, things that you have to eat every day to sustain your body so that your body will grow. You have to sustain the energy so that it can be conducted in a way that is beneficial for you and others. All of this is the managing of Mars. Mars in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is our faith. It is the unseen realm. But Sagittarius is the higher self. And when you have Mars, the actual physical body, in the realm of the higher self, of the faith, it's like, what are the actions you are doing? What actions are you doing on a daily basis to build your 3D reality? To bring what rituals are you practicing to harness your faith, to fortify your faith? What are you doing? Like, so for instance, when I was a Christian, I went to church every Sunday and read the Bible and did all of these things to honor the frequency of that invisible experience of Christianity. Like, so if the Bible said don't do this, I wouldn't do it, because I was honoring a code that brought my faith into physical manifestation. So how are you harnessing your faith? What are the practices you're doing? Maybe you do spiritual baths. Maybe you do meditation. Maybe you do work with the elements. What are you doing? What action are you taking? That's Mars. What action are you taking to harness your invisible realm and bring it into the 3D? That's it. That's really all. And the moon is in Taurus. And the moon in Taurus says, what's your value, right? Where are you placing your value? See, we have, one of the things that we do that is encouraged in our culture is we tend to think about value in terms of money. We tend to think of value in terms of what people have rather than what they have within them. Like Martin Luther King, I'm just using this as an example. Martin Luther King said, don't judge a man based upon his color, judge him based upon his inner character, right? So your value is based upon your sense of character, your self-esteem, your morals, and that can be whatever you say it is, right? Like there is no, like the culture says this is moral and this is not, but those are cultural things. That's not really what's true. In the spiritual realm, you know, the culture might say we value people who have a lot of money. But in the spiritual realm values people who practice compassion, who practice love, who practice authenticity. And that doesn't translate to money in the 3D realm. It can, but the social agreements and social value systems are usually based upon things that a subgroup of the culture benefit from where others don't. So the work is for you to become your own determiner of what is valuable to you. What do you value? There was a time in my life where I valued the approval of others, where I valued being liked and held up by others. But now I'm in a time in my life where I value my own approval, what I think, what I feel. And others might differ from that. For an example, when we had COVID, and there were people in my life who really valued the medical's perspective of what was going on. I did not value that. And so I had to really find a way to stand in my own sense of value. How did I do that? I used herbs to heal myself. I used spiritual practices and natural things to meet my own needs because I didn't value what the social agreement was. I valued what my own system was saying. And so I had to trust myself. I had to align to my own inner needs. I had to talk to my body and get clear about what it was that really mattered to me. And because I did that, then everything showed up. So, you know, where there was a time where we had to have a pass to get into things, I didn't need that because I had made an agreement with my own value system. So whenever I went somewhere, however, it worked out that I had what I needed to get inside because without having to do with the social, goodness gracious. Oh, that's a bus. I'm like, somebody needs some brakes. Oh, look at the little kitty coming to visit me. Hi, little kitty. She's so sweet. Hello, little kitty. She's actually not coming to visit me. She's coming to go back behind the bushes. So with the moon in Taurus, so you got to get the math of this, you guys, right? Because we have a Mars day. Mars is in Sagittarius, asking you to do practices that honor your faith. Honor what you believe in the invisible realm. What do you believe in the invisible realm that you can practice in the physical realm, right? So that's meditation. Why do you meditate? Because you believe it will give you a certain benefit. Why do you do a spiritual bath? Because you believe it will give you a certain benefit. Why do you do your fire rituals, your earth rituals? Because you believe it will give you a certain benefit. And then the moon in Taurus says, what's your value system? So what is it that you value? The rituals that you're doing are going to enhance your values, your practices, your beliefs, and they can be what you say they are. They do not have to be agreed upon by the collective, by your family, by your, you know what I mean? I remember when I left Christianity. Oh, when I left Christianity, and I was born at a time like it feels so interesting to live through the world that's changed so much, because I lived at a time when everybody used to watch the same TV shows, NBC, ABC, CBS, all at the same time. So if the Cosby Show was on, we were all watching the Cosby Show at that time, right? And we were all, most of us, everyone I knew was a Christian. I had, my father and them had, dabbled into Islam because of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was teaching a lot at that time. So, I have family members who didn't believe you should eat pork, and family members because of, Islam. But most people were Christians, and we believed in Jesus Christ. And so when I decided that I did not believe in Jesus Christ anymore, when I was not a Christian, and I decided that I was going to believe in what I knew to be true, that I was going to honor my own value system, that I was no longer looking to belong to the group for the sake of that sort of comfort or belonging or safety, I had to really get clear about what I believed for myself. And then I had to begin to do practices that honored what I believed. No longer am I going to take the blood of Jesus every once a month I don't believe that shit anymore. That's not for me, right? So what did that do in my friendships? What did that do in my family? What did that do in my life? It changed everything, because I was no longer congruent with people that I had been congruent with for decades. So what I watched was, as I held it, the people in my life started questioning their beliefs, and the people in my life stopped becoming Christians, or we stopped being friends. And I erected, because I had new practices, new beliefs, a new reality erected around me. It was invisible, but the universe came and met me where I was. Does this make sense? Am I making sense? And because what I'm wanting to illustrate is that what you decide who you are, and when you are convicted in your own beliefs about yourself, the universe is going to match your vibration and bring you in your 3D reality what it is you believe about yourself. So you can believe that you're wealthy, and the practices that you practice that honor you believing that you're wealthy will actually generate wealth in your life. If you believe that you're loved, the practices that you embody that honor you loving yourself will bring love into your life. If you believe that you are friendly and safe, and the practice that you practice to honor, to say I'm friendly or I'm safe and I'm loved and connected, will bring that experience into your life. Am I making sense? Okay. So that's how we want to work with the energy today. What practices, what rituals honor what you believe about yourself, right? So maybe you have a practice, like I got this when I was in Egypt. I bought this really expensive rose oil, very exclusive, expensive, luxurious, and in a way that I can honor my own luxurious essence, my own very rich essence, is I can do something very simple, is wear that rose oil, because that sends a signal to the universe that I am honoring the luxury within me. I am honoring the wealth within me, and then the universe will match that. Okay. Peace and blessings, everyone. If you want to book your coaching packages, your natal chart readings, you can go to my website and you can look at under the tab of Work With Me at healwithmoonmama.com. Healwithmoonmama.com. Go to the tab. You can, the first page has the workbooks for Mercury retrograde, Saturn retrograde. If you want to understand that work, you can go purchase those workbooks. But if you want to work with me and understand your natal chart and how what are the practices that will support you? I was just working with a client. We just had our last session today, and she has Mars in Leo and Venus in Leo in the 4th house. This is the signature of a queen. This is the signature of someone who lives in the lap of luxury. And we've been working together for a while, and it was so interesting to help her see how she is waiting on the external world to change before she is able to embody herself. And that's not how it works. You have to become the thing And I was able to teach her how to become the thing. This is how you honor these energies inside of you, and the universe will meet you there. But you got to send out the signal that you're devoted, you're dedicated, you're it. I'm already it. I'm already it. And what are the things you have to do according to your natal chart so that you can live into it, and then the universe will match you. All right. Thank you, Lotus Ladder. I appreciate you being here. You guys, this work of embodiment, we are changing the world. We really are changing the world in a ways that has not occurred in our lifetimes. And it first happens inside of you. The changes happen inside of you. And one of the things that I see with myself, my clients, and most of us in the world right now is that we're looking out in the world and waiting for the world to change. That's not how it works. You have to be the change. That's what that fucking shit by Gandhi meant. Be the change that you have to literally embody it. You have to embody it, and your embodiment of it has nothing to do with the world. Your embodiment of it has to do with your loyalty to yourself. Your loyalty to yourself, your loyalty to your own code, your loyalty to your own sense of beauty, your loyalty to your own sense of power, love, joy. You determine what that is. No one determines it for you. You determine it. That's why I create the workbooks and all of those things with the rituals to help you embody it for yourself, and you're not waiting on anybody else. You don't need affirmation from the world to be it. And when you don't need affirmation from the world to be it, and you're just it, then the world will form around you. That's how powerful we are. That's why that's why we've been giving our energy away, empowering others, because we didn't understand that the power was really in ourselves. Peace and blessings. Have a beautiful day.